guys, thank you and welcome back to my channel. So this week it is Lunar New Year week. So with this week we're going to create this makeup look right here using the Anastasia X Amrezy eyeshadow palette. So we're going to go in and do a full review on this eyeshadow palette, also using this cute mirror right here on this makeup look for Lunar New Year. So if you're interested in this makeup look, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. Ring the bell button right here for next week notification. I post every single Wednesday on YouTube, also on IGTV every single Friday. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at stella.c.snow. Let's get this look started. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go in and do a review of the Anastasia Beverly Amrezy palettes. I did order this one on Instagram, and I think a trick to it is because you can order stuff on Instagram now, like majority of the products, not all the products. But if you order from Instagram, you don't have to pay shipping. I don't think, a large majority of it. Like this one I ordered from Instagram and I didn't have to pay shipping for it. But if you go to like the website, or Sephora or Ulta, whatever, wherever this one carry, you have to like pay shipping for it. But I didn't because we ordered from like Instagram, I think. Yeah. So this one, so the full price of this one is $49. And it also come in with like a mirror. This really cute. I ordered right here separately. And I did order this one from Anastasia Beverly website because the first time when I ordered the Amrezy palette, I didn't notice that you can order like the whole, what do you call that thing? Like PR box or whatever. That I have like a nice cute box with like a mirror and then the palette in it. So after I ordered this and then scroll down and start seeing that one, like, darn it, I should have ordered that one so I can have both of them. So I did end up having to order this one separately on their website, and it is $25, and I did have to pay extra shipping for this one because it's on the website. But if you order this one on their Instagram, I don't think you have to pay for shipping. So yeah. And the mirror is actually $25. I'm just gonna open the mirror first because this one is super cute. So this is the package is coming in. So I wish it's coming with something a little bit more nicer packaging. Like this is just like weird packaging or like really cheap packaging. So when you open it, the mirror coming in like this. And so it's coming like this with all this bedazzling crystal in it. Ooh. So with the crystal, it's a little bit more like a round crystal. It's not going to sparkle as much as I thought it would be because this more, if you look close to the crystal, it's a little bit more like a dome-like, a round dome. It doesn't have a different cut around it. So if you have like a different cut from the crystal, it's going to be sparkling a little bit more. But since this one is a little bit more like rounded cut crystal, it doesn't really sparkle as much as I thought it would be, or as much as I want it to be. But for me, I think it's like perfect for you to like hold in front of your makeup. The reason why I didn't use this one a lot for like when I'm shooting, because it's really large, so it kind of like covered the whole screen, everything, so covering lighting and everything, so it's kind of like too big for my face. But this one actually really like perfect, so I'm probably gonna use this one a lot more than the other one. So yeah, it's so cute. So when you pull out the palette gonna come out like this. It's really pink, cute. The front, the package is like this, and the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the back gonna be like this with all the information, all the ingredients. And what's special about this palette is have a little bit 2 extra colors. I think this is coming like 16 color instead of the usual palette that come in 14 colors right here, like the Subculture palette or the Modern Renaissance palette. Both of this is a little bit more smaller palette with 14 eyeshadow. So when you first, so I haven't opened this one yet. Like it came like the last few days, but I had to like wait for me to record to like open and try it on. So I'm gonna see this the first time as you see it also. So when you open the box like this right here, ooh, I already see it. And it's come out the box like this. Ooh, it's super sparkly. So the box is a little bit more like a glossy, and then the palette come out with glitter on top. Super cute. So again, the Amrezy is right here, and Anastasia Beverly here, and the back of the box is like this. It is super cute. I don't think Anastasia ever have like a glitter eyeshadow palette like this. Usually it's more like a velvet front like this. So if the size compare with the Subculture palette right here, it's kind of dirty. So Subculture palette and then Amrezy palette with 2 extra colors. And when you open the palettes right here, so that's the brush. So when you first look up close with this palette, it looks super cute. I'm gonna put you a little bit more closer to here. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but this eyeshadow palette is a little bit more shifty to this side. It's have like a little bit empty space right here for some reason, which is fine, yes. So it's come with like other matte color right here, and up top is have some shimmer glitter palette. So I believe this palette Anastasia Beverly Hills create, this gonna be have 2 of its first glitter in this eyeshadow palette, and I believe that's gonna be Barb, Lilith, or Gemini. 2 or 3 glitter, because I don't think they ever create like a glitter in the eyeshadow palette before. So mostly it's more like a matte eyeshadow with metallics, but not glitter. And also just like regular, the eyeshadow does come with like a 2-ended eyeshadow brush right here. There's dual end brush right here. One is for blending and the other one is for, I guess, smudging. And to first look up the palette, I feel like I kind of love it because they have a lot of different neutral and matte finish color right down here, and on top it's gonna be have a lot of metallic and glitter. And with the neutral, it's have a lot of different like shade of neutral. Like this one OG gonna be more like my olive shade, and then New York gonna be my transition shade, and then 1988 gonna be my like define the crease shade, and Yuko or BK can be my eyeliner shade, and any other popping shade, and the other popping shade gonna be Leo and Resi, gonna be this 2 purple color, pink and then blue right here. So Anastasia gonna be more like metallic color, Cupcake, Dragon, Leo, and Georgina gonna be more like metallic colors. Okay guys, so here is all the color of the first row swatches. So the first one gonna be Wasted, the other one, the next one gonna be Barb's, the third one gonna be Lily, the fourth one gonna be Cupcake, the next one gonna be Dragon, the next one is gonna be Leo, and then Gemini, and then the last one for the first row gonna be Georgina. Or is it Georgina? Georgina. So the first thought when I first watching them is all the color is really great. The formulation and the color pigment is really in there. They put a lot of pigment in there, and that's what Anastasia Beverly Hills is known for the eyeshadow palette. Every single color is packed with a lot of pigment, and with that said, with pigment it's come with a little bit of like fallout because they didn't press it in like really hard, so you can get a lot of pigment into your eyeshadow, but that's gonna be fine. Just use a little bit of color and then building them up with the brush instead of slapping on a lot of color and a lot of pigment, and then you're gonna start getting fallout. And another thing I noticed from the eyeshadow palette is from all the colors that have a little bit more glitter, especially from Litty and Gemini. Those are 2 new colors that they created with glitter. So it does have a little bit more, a lot of fallout from it, because the glitter is really hydrating glitter. It's also slide on your finger, and I would recommend using your finger to press those in. It's gonna stay in your eyeshadow a little bit more better. Just be careful with the glitter color. Don't use a brush with those colors. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch the second row for you. And here is the second swatch from the second row. And then we're gonna start out from the top, and that's gonna be from Amrezy, Anastasia, New Yorker, OG, Sima, 1988, BK, and Yuka. And here again is the final look about the swatch from the palette from the second row. So after I swatch all of them, I'm kind of obsessed with all the pigment, how much pigment they have in this eyeshadow palette. Like everything swatched out perfectly. Like the formulation of this one and the pigment in it is super amazing. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and clean all this up, and we're gonna just go in and start out with the eye makeup look. Okay guys, let's start out with this eyeshadow makeup look. So I'm just gonna go in first with the P. Louise base, and the color I'm using is in number 1 Rumor. Just need a little bit, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use that on my eyelid as an eyeshadow primer. And I believe this whole palette has so much pigment in it, you don't even need an eye primer, but now I'm kind of used to using eyeshadow primer on my makeup look, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that one. You don't have to, but with eye primer it does help pop out the color a little bit more better, and also have your eyeshadow last longer throughout the day if you have a little bit more of those oilier eyelid. And use after that, I'm gonna go in with more like something closer to my skin tone to help kind of set the eyeshadow or create more a transition color. And I think this whole palette, the OG gonna be the second lightest, but I feel like that's still gonna be a little bit too dark for me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with my finger using Wasted as like a setting-ish eyeshadow, just for me to help set the eye primer. And I usually go in with this color using my fingers, because I feel like it's gonna help me blend out my eyeshadow a little bit more easily, a little bit more better. And now that my eyelid is clean and neutral, the first color I'm gonna go in is gonna be the color OG, and this is gonna be my first transition color. And with that one, I'm just gonna go ahead and place on my outer corner, and I'm gonna try to pop it into my crease, bring it all the way to my inner corner. Color pigment on this one is amazing. And the way it's blended is so good. So just remember to go in like a little bit at a time, because Anastasia Beverly Hills, the eyeshadow is really known for like having a lot of eyeshadow pigment. So you don't really need a lot for it to blend, or it might get a little bit more like a fallout, or you might go in a little bit too much. So just again go in with a little bit at a time. And that blending out so well already. I'm obsessed already. And usually I put like on my bake on my eye under eye right now, just to prevent my eyeshadow to fall out, but so far I haven't seen any fallout yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip the baking for now because I haven't seen any fallout yet. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye and putting my transition on my outer corner of my eyes, and also trying to put it into my crease and bring it all the way inward to my inner corner. And the easiest way for me to do that is if you just like put your head back a little bit or looking down, and then you're gonna feel like your socket line right there. And just gonna go in swiping windshield swiping motion, and just go back and forth and in the circular motions. And I usually like to bring it into like the bridge of my nose also. And you can always go in with your fingers to help it blend upward. And at this point, you're trying to put on like a transition color. Then I'm also going to do a cut crease later, so it doesn't really have to be like a perfect into your crease, because we're going to use P. Louise to cut that crease. You want the crease to be as dark as possible, so you can really see that line when you cut the crease later. And also at this point, I like to bring that shading color or transition color in my outer V right here and pull it upward. So if you see, created this one continuous line right here, so it's gonna help pull your eye out a little bit more. And the brush I'm using right now is actually the Morphe M441. This is gonna be really good for you to do like a blending, because it's really fluffy and light. And now with a Sephora angle brush, I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly impress into the color OG, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put right on my bottom lash line to create that shadow. So far I love this formulation. It is so good at pigment and it's blending out so well. And the next color I'm going to move into is going to be Sima. So again, this is going to be like a dark color. So use a little bit on the tip of the brush and go in really slowly. And again, I'm just going to put right on top where I put the color OG, the transition color. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of pink into my crease before I cut the crease and make that line look really sharp. And of course a little bit go a long way with Anastasia Beverly Hill eyeshadow formulations. And now with the Sephora flat brush, I'm just going to go ahead and dip into a little bit the color of Sima. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same way on my outer corner on my bottom lashes. And slightly pull that wing up a little bit to lift my eyes. And always have like a fluffy brush, a clean fluffy brush, and you just go in and just blending out all the edges to make everything a little bit more softer. And now that my color is there, now I'm just going to go in and cut the crease. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and go back in with the P. Louise. And how I like to cut the crease is I'm just going to look straight ahead. Then I'm just going to do a slight dot where I want the height of the crease to be, just to make sure both sides going to be even. And now that your crease is cut, and just making sure you step back sometimes to make sure that your crease is evenly cut, because sometimes I cut this side a little bit higher and then this side I have to put it on a little bit more. So just make sure that you sometimes step back from your work. I'll bring the mirror back a little bit so you can see how even the eye is. Then the next step, I'm just going to go in with more like a flat brush right here. And now I'm just going to dip into color Barbs. So with this one, I'm just going to go ahead and put right on top of the cut crease. It's kind of like setting the cut crease while it's still wet. Because this has like more like a glitter metallic color. Just putting the brush down lightly and then press. Ooh, this color is so pretty. It's gonna give you more like that wet mermaid look. And with glitter, you just need to go in with a few different layers to build up that saturations. And just to pop the tail a little bit more, I'm gonna go in with a smaller flat brush right here, and I'm just gonna press it into the color Resi. It's gonna be more like a hot pink metallic color. So with that color, I'm just gonna press right on the tail where I put the transition. So with this one, I'm just going to help merge the end together. So now I'm just going to put it on the end. And then flick them inward towards where you put the crease. So that's going to create a little bit more like an ombre effect. So you want it to like more darker on this side. And then when it's go inward, it's going to give you a little bit more lighter color. And just to add in a little bit something, I'm going to go in with the flat brush that I used to apply Barbs. And now I'm just going to press that color into Cupcake. It's a little bit more like a purple lavender mermaid color. So I'm just going to go ahead and press that between the two color Barbs and Resi to give you that more like a good transition purpley mermaid look. And I just want that purple to pop, so I'm going to go ahead and use my ring finger and press my finger into the shadow. Then I'm just going to go ahead and lightly press it right on top. That's going to give you a little bit more higher pigment. And then you can use your brush and just blending it out. And you feel like the ends get a little bit too light, you can just go back in with a small flat brush and pat in the color Sima to make it a little bit more darker. And now with just a taper brush, just go ahead and go in towards the end and just help blend everything together. And be really careful at the crease where you did cut the crease, because you don't want that fine line to be disappearing. So just be really careful when you're blending. And I feel like that's look good enough for me. Now I'm just going to go in and put on a wing liner. So the eyeliner pencil I'm using is actually from the Morphe eyeliner, and the color is called Midnight. So I'm just going to use that to stamp in where I want my liner to be first. And I feel that's going to give you a little bit more saturated on your eyeshadow. So the easiest way to put in like a liner is just lay your pencil really flat and do a small line at a time. And once you reach the tail right here, just point it right to your corner, right down here, and do a flick upward towards the tail of your eyebrows. That's gonna give you a little bit more perfect and precise wing liner. Just like that. So I'm just gonna extend it out a little bit for this makeup look, and then just go ahead and connect it inward. And one tip is just to make sure that your eyeliner is always sharp when you do your eyeliner. It's going to be really hard for you to get that sharp line if you have like really dull and flat eyeliner. And now once you got your eyeliner in there, the eyeliner usually gives you a little bit more like 30 seconds, a minute before the eyeliner actually sets. So if you happen to like mess up on your eyeliner, just use the Q-tip at the end and just gonna pull upward and it's gonna give you a little bit more a sharper line right on the bottom. And now I can see I got a little bit more like a bleeding out right here when the eyeshadow like blending out. So I want to really clean that line. And because I haven't really set my foundation yet with a lot of powder, so now I'm just going to go ahead and go in with like a really flat brush right here and tapping with a little bit more concealer or the foundation that you use. You can just go right in and just clean that off. And just go have a straight line from the bottom to the top. That's going to give you a little bit more cleaner line. So that's it, just going to keep that line a little bit more cleaner right there. And with that trick, it's just going to help lift your eye up if you happen to like to put on your complexion first like me. Like I like to put on my complexion and foundation first before I put on like my eye makeup, because I don't know why, I just like it that way better. So you can always use like concealer or foundation and just put a little bit and just put right on top of it and clean that line right up. Even though you have a little bit more like a powder, that will still be fine too. Just making sure that you don't use too much of the concealer or the foundation right on top. It might take a chunk of your foundation out because you already have powder on top, but just use a really little bit of it. Then you can always go in with the beauty blender right after to blend that right in. And another trick I like to do with my eyeshadow is with the eye pencil, I'm gonna go ahead and color in on the outer part of my eyes and also the inner part. So I usually don't like to tight line my whole bottom line. I only do like the first 1/3 and the outer 1/3. So I usually leave the center open. That can open up my eye a little bit more, because if I do a really clean straight line right there, it's gonna bring my eye too close, and I already have like really smaller eyes. I don't want to like really close that in, but I really want to open it up. So that's why I leave the center open. That's gonna leave you a little bit more like rounder almond eye rather than a really straight Asian eye, which I already have. So, and with that line down there, you can always connect it to the line right on top. So I think I'm just gonna leave my eyeshadow right there. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and go finishing up my brows, put on eyelashes and a lip, and I'll be right back to tell you how much I like this eyeshadow palette. So yeah, I'll be right back. And I am back with the final makeup look using the Anastasia X Amrezy eyeshadow palette. Now let's break down this makeup look. So I did went in and finished up my brows. I also put on lashes, and these lashes is actually from Miss X Lashes, from MUSE X Lash. I'm gonna leave her link right down below. And you can also use the code 20MUSE for an extra additional 20% off when you make a purchase. And for the lip, I did went in with a lip liner using the KKW Beauty lip liner, and the color I went in is color 1.5 nude lip liner. For the lipstick, I did went in with the Anastasia lip gloss called Kirsten, and for the lighter color on the center, I did went in with the Marc Jacob lip color called Fawn Over Me. And now let's break down this eye makeup look. And for the Anastasia, I did went in first with the color All Wasted for all over my lid, and then for my transition color, I did went in with the color OG to cut my crease, to define my crease and give that a little bit more of like my transition color. And for the pop-up pink, I went in with the color Sima and that's gonna give you a little bit more like a pinkish color, and that's one of my favorite color. Afterward, I went in and cut my crease with the P. Louise base, and the color I'm using is in Rumor 1. Afterward, I went in with the color Barbs right here. Actually, that's going to be one of my favorite color to put all over my cut crease. And then I went in with color Red Sea. This is actually a really pretty pink color right here to put on the end corner of my cut crease to punch up that pink color. And now one of my favorite color in this palette is actually called Cupcakes. It's such an interesting purple color. It's really pretty. I don't think I used a lot of purple color a lot lately, but that color is really sheer. It's super pretty purplish, lilac-y, and I think if I have to pick one of the favorite color in the palette, that's gonna be my favorite color in Cupcake. So I went ahead and did a tight line on top right after I put on my lashes with the color BK, the black color. So I did feel like I need a punch of color, so I went in with the color Leo, the turquoise blue color. And I went ahead and press a little bit of that color underneath my bottom lash line to get that a little bit more like punchy blue color. And it's really nice. So if you just have like a pink cut crease and everything, this could be like really pretty. But if you put in that like punching the color Leo right underneath on the bottom lash line, it's become like I'm 100% that bitch kind of makeup look. So it kind of punch up, make it a little bit more rock and roll, a little bit more modern, and have a touch of color. And overall, I feel like this whole palette is amazing. The formulation of everything is super nice. The pigmentation is really in there. You don't have to use a lot of, you don't have to dig in your brush to get the pigment. You just need a little bit for the pigment. And does it have a little bit fallout? Yes, because that's due to like all the high pigmentation from like the palette. And Anastasia palette tends to have a lot of fallout because of that. So just use a little bit from the shadow and don't use a lot, and don't dig your brush into them. That's gonna create a lot more pigment and fallout. I feel like I would definitely go and use this palette again because it have a lot of neutral, a lot of popping color. The only thing I wish is either the color New Yorker or the color OG, they can switch that into like a slightly lighter color, lighter shade, because those two color practically twin. Like they just slap two color in and they like practically twin color right there. New Yorker could be a little bit more lighter to give you a little bit more of like a blending color rather than like two of the same color, same neutral color. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's about it. Every single color is really great. I would definitely use this one again, and this would be perfect for like upcoming Valentine's makeup look. I think I'm going to use this for like the Valentine makeup look. But yeah, and I think that is about it. So by the time this video come out, it's gonna be Lunar New Year. I know a lot of people are saying it's Chinese New Year, but technically it's not Chinese New Year. It's called Lunar New Year. So happy Lunar New Year to you and to your family. And you probably think, what the F is she wearing? So this is the Vietnamese traditional garment. So if you haven't found out by now, I'm Vietnamese, so this is going to be Vietnamese traditional garment. We usually wear the traditional garment to like temple during Chinese New Year celebrations. A lot of people wearing for weddings. So technically you can wear everything. So we're wearing this to the temple to celebrate, and I feel like this can be matched with the eyeshadow palette. It's perfectly, so that's why I like wearing it. Anyway, so happy Lunar New Year to you, and if you happen to like this makeup look right here, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below, and ring the bell button right here for notification of next week's video. I post every single Wednesday on YouTube and also on IGTV, a shorter version on Friday. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at bella.c. That's no. Happy New Year. No, not New Year. Happy Lunar New Year. Mwah.